Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you for making it. I apologize for the extreme lack of uploads. So, I went on my trip and went to Sri Lanka. I have tons of footage and a bunch of videos to get out. The only unfortunate part is I ended up breaking my laptop screen on like the last week I was out there, and all the videos are on my laptop. So I've been in the process trying to get all those videos either transferred over or something, get them, or just get the screen fixed. Screen's quite a bit right now. I do want to go ahead and go through some trades this week. This week was a killer. I didn't trade for about 2 weeks. I had, if you see here, this is phase 2 on my aquafunded challenge account right now. Currently, the account is about a little over 1% away from passing. So this is, I'm very happy about that, excited to see this. I'm glad that I took those 2 weeks just kind of like staring at the markets. I wasn't really taking any trades. I was kind of just refreshing my memory, relearning, getting back on like the groove of things, getting back into town and being home and stuff. But I do want to go over these trades. So we started the week here Tuesday. I didn't take any trades on Monday. I was looking. Oh, this was on Friday. I was looking at. I never even took that. I don't even know if I was at the markets on Monday, if I'm being honest. But Tuesday, this day was just perfect. Like, I couldn't have read it any better. For me, this trade was like A+. I knew that the main sells was gonna be like the true trade. So I actually marked both of these up during London session. However, I only took the buys because I do work in the morning, so I knew I probably most likely wasn't going to be there. So for me, like looking at the markets, we can tell that obviously the trend is bearish from this point. We're having break of structure after break of structure. This one's another break of structure that's just not marked right there. Leaving this imbalance. I think I was actually looking at this on the 5-minute time frame. Leaving this imbalance up here, we mark out our supply zone, and we can see that before session we had this buildup of liquidity here, right? Just all this jumbled mess. Okay, so we opened the market and Frankfurt did sweep Asia highs. Okay, we also technically swept these equal highs right here. So we swept Asia highs, we swept equal highs. Bunch of people are getting in sells here. For me, this just wasn't clean enough to take the sell from this position, because I had so much conviction in this supply, just because of all this imbalance. I mean, we have the Frankfurt, as well as I believe this same day GBP USD did take out Asia. Yeah, so GBP USD took out Asia highs or Asia lows, and we had all of this imbalance left residing above for Asia highs. I wonder if I was looking at gold. I wasn't really looking at gold this day. But Euro USD was just so clean. I saw this imbalance over here. Was it a 3-minute? It might have been a 15-minute. No, it was a 10-minute. This is 10-minute demand. You can see we failed to break structure right here. So there's obviously more people. And then we had an impulsive move to the upside, breaking this little trend right here. Not really a trend, more of a range. So we broke this range with this push. Technically it was this push. Then we liquidated this push. We're just creating more liquidity. Session opens up and we get an inducement. I had my limit order set. As soon as we made these equal lows, I set my limit order, because I just saw this imbalance. I just felt like this was the right trade to take. So yeah, this was my trade on, basically, like, there's not much to it. We just have the break of structure. We know that the real trade is going to be the sell from the supply. Well, like, we don't necessarily know, but we can see that that's what the market's just showing us. We have not only one, but 2 previous Asia sessions to target for liquidity that have not been taken out yet. We had all this imbalance, but then we broke all this structure. So what we got to do now is come back and retest the supply that broke the structure, because this is the supply that also broke this structure right here, which would have been our bullish momentum. Let's say we got a retest here and another break of structure on the inside, something like that. I mean, it's hard to show when it's not on the chart, but this trade was just beautiful to me. I wasn't going to take it any higher than the supply. I had about an 8 pip stop loss, 1 to 3. I think I actually ended up, I don't remember if I manually entered this or not, or if I had the whatchamacallit, if I had the 15-minute supply marked. Yeah, I think I may have taken this off the 15-minute supply, and then just refined it to the 10-minute while I was in the trade. I think that's exactly what I did. And then I just put this up here because I thought I was going to try and wake up for New York session, but I forgot I had testing that day, so I had to leave the house early. And if we just watch it play out, we can see beautifully, like, this limit would have been perfect. It would have happened just before session. So if we're waiting for session, we can see inducement, or not really inducement. So if we look before session, we can see we take out, sweep, huge sweep up, tap into the supply, retest structure. We break this structure right here internally on the 10-minute. And then if we keep watching, bam. Okay, well, my freaking webcam decided to stop working again. Either way, we move on to the next day. So first day, that was that Euro USD trade right here, the buy. Next day, we come on and we're going to be looking at this couple Euro USD trades. This was kind of some user error here. Didn't necessarily have the best stop loss. I could have gotten away with some tighter stops and I would have hit my 1 to 3. However, it was a beautiful setup. Basically the same thing that we saw before, where session took out the highs. However, this time I didn't necessarily see a buy. I definitely saw us continuing up to tap this supply to take out all this liquidity and then all these equal lows between Asia session. We have these equal highs taken out before session, but we fail to break structure and then tap up into our supply where we get our entry. If I had stops like 6 or 8 pips or even 10 pips, I think I would have for sure hit the 1 to 3. However, price decided to go my way. I was feeling great, little inducement, not so break of structure, and then we get this break of structure. I'm happy. We come up here, not so happy, continue down, not so happy. I woke up the next morning and my trade was sitting here. I had conviction that we were going to continue down, so I was holding. However, after I saw this at New York session, I moved my stop loss because I figured, oh, I just missed my 1 to 3 by a pip, basically a pip, and we could potentially reverse here. Then this is where the greed and FOMO came in. I had my 1 to 1, okay? So I had my 1 to 1. I got out break even, whatever. Still a winning trade. I decided I was going to get a re-entry because I figured that this was just our inducement to continue to the downside. So I got in and instantly taken out. Like, that just shows you don't, like, my original thought, okay, this could be a reversal, was correct. And then what is this? Inducement, break of structure. Like, when I look back at it, I'm obviously, like, right here impulsively getting in a trade just out of session. Like, you shouldn't be doing this, should not be doing this. So that for me was day 2. That was both of these trades. The next day was gold. I had a nice trade on gold. This wasn't it. This was a sell that happened. I didn't actually take this trade, but I saw it after the fact. Basically tap into a supply. During New York session, we see Asia session or London session. It's creating all this liquidity. We have equal highs taken out just before session, but failed to break structure, and then continued way up, tapping into our supply. But I didn't take this one. The next one I took was way down here. So, all right. So for this session, this was yesterday London session. I get to the market and gold, this is what it looks like. We have a entire time frame, huge zone of consolidation, right? And we just took out not one but two Asia sessions recently. However, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Asia sessions that have not been taken out. We do have this one Asia session to the downside, which I was keeping my eye on, but I definitely didn't take. But wasn't my main thesis. Like, obviously we have all this imbalance, and then if we go on to the 5-minute time frame and then go look at Euro USD, this is what I was seeing for Euro USD. Basically another sell, but it would be a buy to a supply, because right here we have Asia liquidated. Personally, I wanted to see Asia liquidated and then this break of structure break this entire swing and then give me my entry. So I was explaining that to somebody and then waiting for that for my entry. However, as session played out, we did sweep this. We broke this, so I entered my limit here. However, gold had already tapped me in. So right here, I had the same thesis, but gold just was already tapping into a zone. We had this liquidity that was not swept once, but twice, and then we broke above this structure. Internal swing, like I was just, it gave me the conviction right here. We broke this point right here. So we have this range, which was then liquidated to create a break of structure, leaving this demand zone. During session, tapped me in at 320, and the rest is history. I took my 1 to 3 at around here, and then just held until these equal highs were taken out, and I saw rejection. I actually set my take profit like just above these equal highs and went to bed and woke up in profit. So that is my week. Those are my trades. This one was kind of the best trade of the week, unless I took that first Euro USD trade, or low-key took this sell, because this one could have even gone to a 1 to 26. But realistically, I'd be out right here, just following the strategy. But that's my trading week. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope to be funded next week. Just going to take it slow and make sure I'm only taking the best of the best trades.